wanted to read further, has written a piece on Natalia's first solo show here at Green Eye Gallery in the summer edition of Irish Art Review. But we're delighted to have Natalia here in the gallery. Personally, delighted with an amazing show that she's put on for the gallery, specifically in some ways responding to the space. She'd maybe talk a little bit about herself and how she's harnessed or used the light. Light is kind of a theme, or waves are kind of a theme that run through some of the works in the show. But often in a conversation, I suppose, like this, with the works around you, things can come up that maybe you weren't expecting, or, you know, so I'm looking forward to hearing the conversation. Thank you again, Margarita and Natalia, for making the work and now explaining the mystery behind the work to us. Thank you all for coming.
Thanks for inviting me to speak, and Natalia too. Congratulations on your exhibition. It was a pleasure writing on it because it's such an amazing show, even though I hadn't seen the exhibition obviously before I wrote the piece, but I was, you know, mesmerised by your works. They really are exquisite in reality and so tactile. So in terms of, I thought we'd just start off and talk about your own background and your wide-ranging education and how that informs your work, because I was struck when we spoke originally that you not only have you studied painting, but you also studied literature, and your education was very wide-ranging, including travel abroad quite extensively as a student. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, well, for those of you who don't know, I'm from Slovakia, from like this really small town surrounded by mountains, but for some strange reason the school was really good. And I kind of, as a child, I liked to draw and was interested in art, but I went to grammar school and there was no art there. So till 18, I was mostly just interested in reading and, yes, books, but just art books. You know, the first one I had was Van Gogh. But then also, because it was like communist country, we had the Russian bookshop. So I remember my father taking me to that Russian bookshop and like showing me some books, and there was like Shishkin. Okay, Shishkin. So I had a Van Gogh and Shishkin as I was growing up. Shishkin just painted forests, like realistic, amazing forests. And after that kind of torture of grammar school, I escaped to Bratislava, which is like much bigger city, and I got into a course which was for teachers that combined art and English, kind of English to teach it as a foreign language to students. But the course was 5 years, and then basically the art bit took us through the whole history of art, plus we tried all the techniques, which was great, kind of for 18-year-old to do this, and also be with like 20 other people who had similar interests. And on that other side of that was the English bit, where we did a lot of literature and also history and phonetics and morphology, so probably that kind of helped me to speak English a bit better, so I can kind of communicate with you now. And I think the tutors I had at the school, they were very inspiring people. They were artists themselves, so you kind of wanted to be like them, basically. But most of in Slovakia they were very influenced by surrealists and Lautréamont and Dali, like that was very, and then they put like a lot of magic realism, so it was all kind of narrative. So I did that kind of stuff, you know, plus whatever they gave us, busts or live models. But that course was also great because from the art bit we traveled, like Bratislava is Central Europe, so we were going to Prague, Vienna, Italy, France, on like art excursions. And from the English bit, 1 year they sent us for 4 months to London, like the whole 20 of us. Like what better things, like a real school of life. So I'm really grateful that I basically got that in education I got.
Yeah. And in terms of, you were using lots of different media, so you worked in ceramics, like you learned how to glaze, and I could see sort of elements of that training in your work. But also, with print, you were making lino cuts, which was completely different, obviously very, very, very precise. And that was really what you started. You started off making prints first, did you? When you were a fledgling artist.
Yeah, as a fledgling artist, I did a lot of lino cuts. No, but because also like all these things, you master a technique, or you are trying to master it as you go along, and I very early found out that you kind of get like nice feeling when you are concentrating on something, like making a pot or making, like working with your hands. And lino cut, once you get it out, then you just zone out and you just go into that, cutting, and that is so great. But you also want to know what the result is going to be. But it doesn't really matter that much because you have such a nice time just pulling pieces of wood out of, yeah.
It's all very tactile though, and I think that's what's striking about your work. It's so, I look at these paintings and I want to touch them. I know you're not supposed to, but they're that type of work. So I think you can see as I said, the influence of your training.
Well, I think that is the highest compliment for a potter.
Yeah.
That you want to touch his pot.
Yeah.
So I feel very.
So in terms then of your own development, then you were in London, and then you eventually moved to Northern Ireland just through personal circumstances.
Yes.
And then your work changed quite dramatically.
Yes, because suddenly I was away from any support. Like I left school, and you have a lot of support at school, and then after, because you are in the same country. But when I moved to Northern Ireland, there was suddenly like nothing. There was just like this guy who married. And he's a bit familiar. The rest is completely new. So I didn't know, and that what I was doing in Slovakia didn't fit. The language was different. I found, there is people behave differently or have, with different language you operate on a different level with life. It's really strange. I don't, if you speak different language, you must know.
And in terms of the landscape then,
then in Northern Ireland, I was like, what am I going to paint? And what I liked most was the coast and the sea. So I thought, I'm going to probably do some landscapes here. And so I was just kind of trying it out. And it was also the first time I started to use paint, because I traveled a lot, and you need to be settled to use paint, because you need to have a space where you can store it. And so before it was like drawings or rubbings, or if you have a pencil and a sketchbook, you kind of get by. But now I was settled, so I could buy paint and start painting. And I don't know, I wasn't that happy with the results, because they were not like landscape, so many landscapes. And although, some people are better at landscape, some aren't, I wasn't that great, or I didn't think I was that great. So out of frustration, I squeezed all the tubes out and started to just play with it. And the glimpses of something interesting were there, So then I followed that. And this is where it ended up at this stage.
I think there is something very sort of geological, or even though they're abstract works, there's something that you know, they vibrate and they look like those creations in rocks. So there is something, you know, you can see that they're sparked by that inspiration from the landscape, whether it is the Northern Irish landscape specifically or not. But so you were painting outdoors then, were you?
No,
Okay.
because mostly it was kind of trying to capture the moment or the memory of the moment.
Yeah.
Like for example, going for a walk on Benon's Strand or whatever happened. And then in a studio you remember it and you remember the colors, and kind of sometimes I try to imagine what a place would look like from like an aerial view, or what it would look from different perspectives, and it's kind of like a collage of everything. But you have some kind of experience, it goes through you, and then you put it back out there the way it went through. You know, it may be also influenced by something you read at that time, or just kind of things come together.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't really know like how it happens. It just happens, kind of luck. You know, like certainty of chance, you just do something and it works every time because that's the way it was meant to be.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, the role of chance and an accident in your work, because I've written extensively on Francis Bacon. One thing that he said was that he destroyed all his best paintings because he took them, he felt an accident happened, and sometimes the best paintings were the result of an accident, but sometimes he took them that bit further and then he destroyed them and he regretted doing so. But I suppose that element of chance, that's to do with experimentation, and it's also, I mean, I wanted to talk to you about your change of bleeding from oil to acrylic, because acrylic is, you're not waiting for the oil to dry, and there is something really immediate about your painting. I mean, you can see there's a huge sense of vibrancy about your work. So you want to talk about the role of chance and accidents, and also your choice of acrylic.
Well, okay. Yes, well, I started when I had that, like a eureka moment that happened with oil paint, because I fancied myself an oil painter, because like you go to people's studios and there's beautiful smell of oil, you go, oh, I want to do the same. But with that like amount of paint, it just took so long to dry, and also they remained soft all the time. But to recreate it in acrylic, the same is like, you need to know the paint really well to know which paint reacts with which. And like a lot of it, because you are learning about the medium, so if you read it, it's different than when you experience it. So you have that experience, like you know which paint can do what. And I plan very little when I start painting. It's mostly an accident.
But yet your colours and the combination of colours are so unusual and striking and beautiful. I mean, the juxtaposition of colours, they just are so different.
Yeah, a lot of it is intuition, because also as an artist, I think, or as any human being, like maybe looking is more important than actually working or painting, because, I'm constantly looking at things and I look like, oh, look, that's a nice combination, color combination. That's an interesting shade. And then I'll just try to put it in paintings, or a lot of fashion. Fashion designers are amazing the way they combine colors and shades. Or maybe I'm doing just the same with paint.
Yes, yeah.
Just, and they're kind of abstract because I just want some kind of like feeling, energy to come from the,
Yeah.
like when you listen to music, there is, well, they put narratives in there, but most of the time you can experience it without any narrative, and then I think it becomes much more stronger in terms of emotion, and then some emotions are described by different colors. So I'm just like trying things out, basically.
Yeah. And in terms of, you've mentioned literature, extensively just in our conversations, and you mentioned Chekhov, and you're obviously very widely read, but literature really seems to resonate with you and inform your work, and in terms of the titles of the paintings too, and the title of this exhibition, which we can talk about, or...
Well, it's something that I've always liked doing, is reading. And it's, you read something that leads to something else. But, yeah, I have some like writers which I go to regularly, like Chekhov, because, it's also like about the human condition, and we are just like trying to find out what the hell we are doing here. And basically, I just read what I can to inform me about what is this all about. But these days, I really like poetry. The building is talking. And the way, like, that you can express so much in few lines, that's kind of condensed. For example, that painting is kind of inspired by S.W. Merwin. He's this American poet who died this year, and he has I think he translated Dante's Purgatory, so he has a poem, Purgatory. And it's so beautiful, like the eye goes over everything that you've ever witnessed or seen in Purgatory until it kind of gets it, like what it was all about, or that it was all beautiful. Like everything that ever happened to you was actually exactly the way it was meant to be. Which is, like really beautiful when you go through like daily grind of getting angry or having to do this or do this. But then you kind of remember, oh, but it's still beautiful. And the rest, I don't know,
And Paul Muldoon is another poet that you mentioned.
Oh yeah, Paul Muldoon has a great poem about wind and the trees. That's really, nothing here, but I think it starts something like, most wind happens where there are trees. And it's like somebody asked him about it, and he took that line from some old Irish poem, and it said 70%, 74% of wind happens where there are trees. So like the Irish were more exact. I also really like humor, like all the writers or whatever I like when it's serious, but it's also funny. Like Kurt Vonnegut is just super funny, but he's serious as well.
Yeah.
Or like Chekhov can be beautifully funny the way he just loves those characters that he has there, and you feel he's like father to all of them. So I love reading him, but Murakami I like as well, because he creates these worlds, like parallel worlds, but you also learn a lot. Yeah, and it's also a great source of learning, because all these writers probably have some topic which they really researched and explored, and then they put something. So, I don't know, it's just like fending away boredom, reading.
And in terms of the paintings in this show, Natalia, it really works very well in this space, including the use of the large windows and the use of light. But also, you obviously work at quite a pace, because all these works are from from 2019, so you're working. I mean, your work
Oh,
rate
yeah.
is obviously.
This happened very fast because
That's
like,
my fault.
at the beginning of the year, I didn't even know Jerome. And then he came to Belfast. I had a show in Venderski Gallery, and then I came down here, and he said, "Okay, you can have a show in May." I was like, "Oh, okay." But it also gave me kind of focus.
Yeah.
And I knew because like when I came here the first time and I saw those windows and I thought, wow, you should do something with that.
Yeah.
But because I did application for some grant or somewhere where they had windows, I had kind of in my back of my mind the idea of putting these like static vinyl things.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of, I have a lot of ideas in the back drawer that they was never realized.
Yes.
All I need is a bit of money and I pull them out. But and it worked. This was like perfect for here.
Yes. Absolutely perfect.
And I don't know if you realize they are details of the paintings and then kind of manipulated in the computer, and it's almost like the paintings came with light, kind of caught on the glass, and then they ended up on the walls, which kind of worked well with also the theme of that harmony of the spheres and Musica Universalis.
Yeah.
Which again, like I came upon that by chance by listening to the radio, but I thought the idea was so, like you have these ideas just come, and then they fit into some slot and they make it start to make sense to me.
Do you want to talk a bit further about that, about harmony of the spheres?
Oh, it's
maybe elaborate.
Yeah, it's like Plato. Well, apparently it was like before, but he is the father of the idea that the heavenly objects, the spheres, each make a single note, which then ends up in some kind of harmony, like music that we humans cannot hear, although he apparently could hear it, and he was and he was recreating it with music and his own voice, but who knows? Because again, like Pythagoras, nobody knows about him because what they were writing about him was 100 years after he died. So it's either myth or made up. Who knows? Well, and basically but he was like a really educated guy because when he was young he traveled to Egypt and Egyptians showed him his mathematics and he traveled wildly, and then even the Pythagoras theorem, apparently it's not his, but it's Egyptians gave it to him. He just proved it to the Greeks that it works. Yeah, an interesting guy. Apparently he had a golden thigh, somebody believes. And he was, a river talked to him. Like, there are all these myths, almost like a Jesus figure. Well, so this is another myth that he was walking past blacksmiths and the different hammers produce different sounds. So he applied kind of like geometry and mathematics to music and then to cosmology. So, because like in ancient Greece, the philosophers had a huge scope. What was a philosopher? Today we have like biologists or mathematicians, but ancient Greek philosophers were interested in everything and kind of like how it informs our existence or life. So he came up with this, that the universe is sending or like harmonizing some kind of music which is beneficial for our soul, that our soul can hear it, if we could hear it, we would go deaf. Or, well, I find it like a really fascinating idea. And you know, like everything is like harmonies, everything is waves. And now when you have like quantum physics, and they seem to be proving the same things. And then the nature of consciousness, how we are all connected, that also it kind of like fits in there somehow. There is so much we don't know.
But you seem like somebody who's constantly questioning and using your work to do that. I mean, you're looking at very deep, sort of philosophical things, and yet at the same time there's something really playful about your work. For instance, if you want to talk about that work there, Natalia, the first one here on the wall.
Oh yeah.
The title of that is
My Theory of Everything.
your
Well, basically,
Very good now.
yeah. We could sit here for a long time. My theory of everything. No, well, that painting is a painting which went so wrong on the other side that I was so frustrated with it. And so I flipped it on the other side and did some, you know, like some. And then it's like, is it a mistake or was it meant to be? Yeah, who knows?
It's on its own in the show. None of the others, they all kind of behave,
Yes.
you know, and stick to the edge of the canvas or play a little with the edge of the canvas. This is diving off into space, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit like wings.
Yeah.
A little, you know.
Yeah, it's very effective though, isn't it?
And two colour, you know, it's kind of most of the paintings are polychrome, or they're, you know, many colours. This is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I find that, you know, like that fluorescent pink, it kind of shines. Like when I was in Iceland, you know, when you see a landscape all white, and then in the setting sun, it was completely like radiating pink. So I remember, you know, like I have few things that I remember, like color combinations, and then you want to recreate it somehow in a studio. Sometimes you fail, sometimes it works.
But I think that's what's beautiful about your work as well, because if you stand back, you know, they look strong visually, but then when you go up close, you see these little specks of colour that are hidden underneath, you know, so that there's just so much depth to them.
Yeah, a lot of it is from the technique.
Yeah.
It's
It's not accidental as well.
Yeah, like I would you know, to paint most of them, like I'm amazed that I did it. Yeah.
So in terms of your technique then, Natalia, do you want to talk a little bit about your technique, for instance, with that work there?
Well, it involves a lot of paint.
Yeah.
And then,
Are you using large brushes or palette knife or?
I'm actually not using brushes at all.
Okay.
I'm using kind of tools I made myself.
Okay.
It's kind of like, you know, you just need an edge. So, I have few which are like metal, and few, like for those big ones, I have like 2 meter long. That was hard to drag it across.
Yeah.
I made it from perspex. Yeah, and like a lot of those effects also come from the technique. You just, well, I know basic, there are basic rules about structuring any surface. So you just apply those, and then kind of which colors would look good together. It's basically, most of it is trial and error. So what you see here is what I deemed okay. Because I tell you, there are a lot of kind of rejects in
I was
this.
going to ask you that. Are there? I mean, you're rejecting things
Well,
regularly.
I reject things a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't like it, sometimes it doesn't dry well.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever revisit anything and say,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then if I don't like it, I can always put another layer on.
yeah,
Or if it's too, it needs to be flat surface when I work on it. So I also have a planer and plane locally off.
okay,
And then do another layer. Because everything, you also as a practicing artist, you need to think about money, and it's always kind of like a balance of what you can afford, what you can, you are basically cutting corners where you can for like maximum effect. Although with me, I think I'm like, I shot myself in the leg a bit with that. But now it's kind of mine, so.
Now you're based in the UK, so but you still have ties with Northern Ireland because you're a Northern Way member. So, do you still have a lot of connections with artists there? Or?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, even more than in England.
Okay.
I'm kind of in exile in England. Not sure why. Yeah, like kind of a guy I live with. He has a job there, so I'm in Liverpool.
Okay.
But it's good.
Yeah.
There's a ferry to Belfast, so I can go quite often.
Yeah.
And I'm a member of RUA,
So you're
which is cool. Come on, we made me an academician up north. Yeah. And there's a Fendereschi gallery I show with up there, and like Jamshid became a very good friend. He's like one of my favorite people.
yeah. And
If you ever go to Belfast, you have to go to see the Fendereschi gallery.
And in terms then of the future, you mentioned that you're excited that you have a residency now in Cyprus coming up.
Oh yeah. After long years up north here, I'm going to Cyprus.
You like orders?
Yeah, I must. I was thinking about that. I know. Yeah, it's nearly like the same situation. And you have like these islands on opposite ends of Europe. Yeah, let's see how. I was also kind of like excited that I will spend some like longer time in sunshine. And what will that do to my creativity? It may even kill it. No, because like
That's fascinating. Thanks for meeting. Brilliant. See you. Bye.
See you soon.
Bye. Because there are theories that you are kind of working out some neuroses by painting. So if you stop, you are cured.
Well, congratulations anyway on the show again, Natalia. It's been a pleasure, getting to know you.
No, and also like great thanks to Jerome
Yeah.
because I see these paintings like in my studio. It looks completely different when you see it in the context of a gallery.
I think it works really well, and I think the way it's been hung is super.
Can I just ask about it feels a bit looser or something? Is that an obvious thing to say? But just looking back at some of the other work on your archive on your site, a lot of the paintings were smaller and they're kind of more meticulous in how they create the image, and there's often this drag to the right, and then you have a deposit on the kind of a right. And you do get the drag maybe in some of the works here, left to right, and then the remains or the reversal theory. But the bands of colour are wider, or you're taking, maybe is it freer or something? You're taking more risk, or it's freer.
Yes, well, for also like I need to do it kind of faster for.
Right. Okay. That's my fault again.
No, but it's not a fault. It just like gives a different element into it. It's just actually like with those big ones, I diluted the paint a little bit.
No, you work well under pressure, clearly. So.
Yeah, but
it's
it's
pretty impressive.
like but you kind of create results because I was almost like, you know, like every day, but it was beautiful. Although I had money to do it, you know, because like I had that other show, so that was great. Because sometimes you are just like twiddling your thumbs, like when will I get paid so I can buy paint?
These small, very compact works, and they're very different to the larger kind of rectangular works, and the smaller ones are really a circular colour, they're just all paint, you know. And then I love just what you showed me earlier today as well, these works you made with pencils, that you again, idling, doodling, one day you ended up just sawing the pencils and made these constructions with it, they look great.
Yeah, you can see them on my site or on Facebook or something. Yeah, it's again like
You can kind of work with anything, you know, you could end up working with lots of different materials.
I kind of try to look at every material kind of anew, like what you could get or do that nobody else thought of. Although that is that's a brief, that is too hard. But can you just like try to do something different? So that, okay, pencil, drawing, and you know, like you end up as a kid. I opened the drawer and there were all the broken pencils which nobody wanted. You know, the full drawer of them. Like, what do you do with them? And I said, let's use this somehow. And then I worked in a school as an art technician in Belfast, and they had like a little saw, like a band saw. So, okay, let's cut these pencils out, like lengthwise. So I was, you know, because you are sitting there, nobody wanted me for anything. So I was just cutting up pencils in no, they're probably so, I don't know what they always Yeah, but then they stuck it together and it looked good, so I had to go and look for pencils. And it was cool, it was good, you know, a lot of broken pencils lying around. But yeah, and like it's fun. And then you are just, because you have something very familiar, but suddenly when you cut it in half, it produces stripes, and I really like stripes. Oh, that's another good thing. Like, stripe is like a cloth of the devil, apparently. From the it's in the Bible that you are not allowed to wear stripes. Although it's kind of like two fabrics together, so it's not exactly. They don't know whether they mean, because it's like from Asian language, they don't know whether it means two different fabrics together or two different colors.
It's too much like decoration or indulgence.
Some French guy has a book about it, like the stripy cloth was only for like prostitutes, convicts, and clowns. Which is also, that's why I like it.
Yeah, you were just going to say
I'm very confused now.
Yeah.
Very confused.
I'm all three. But you know, like there is such a, I think there is energy in stripe. You know, anything you see, like your eye is like instantly attracted to stripes. That's why they are on all the like health and safety and don't touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, stripe is a good thing.
Stripes are great. Rose.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.